Good evening and welcome to Talking to Thursday. And I have to take these out because you'll not understand a word I say. Right, good evening and welcome to Talking to Thursday. And I'm sure you just lost the plot. Right, are you getting ready for Halloween? This time next week, we will be in full Halloween mode at Grow and Smile. So what we thought we'd do tonight was give you a way of getting a certain look for Halloween, which is quite gory. Now, if you have noticed my teeth, now some of you will know that I've been wearing aligners for a while, which is like clear braces, clear orthodontics to get some teeth that have gone walkabout back into line. So what I did earlier on, yes, Blue Peter fashion, was actually put my aligners and disclose my aligners. So as you can see the pink on these aligners? Actually doesn't show up overly well. I'm just going to move this light around ever so slightly. You might be able to see it a little bit better. But this is actually a delicate shade of pink at the minute, which it's not meant to be. It's meant to be clear. You can see, maybe see it a little bit better up there. The light is really, really funny in this tonight. So let me just say, that's maybe better there. Can you see the pink? So I haven't actually cleaned my aligners today. It's actually struggled because normally I clean them after I eat, and purposely I've neither cleaned teeth or aligners since I got out of bed this morning. And I think if you can see the pink there, you can see how the plaque biofilm has. So what we're going to look at this evening is we are going to look at disclosing agents and disclosing and how that actually helps you improve your oral hygiene routine. And it's all about seeing what you're trying to do. Have you ever tried to touch up a white wall with white paint? And you will know how difficult it is then actually to get two whites to actually match. Hi Jan, how are you doing? So if you've ever tried to touch up a paint with another colour of paint, you will realise how difficult about actually spotting and cleaning your teeth effectively is finding out where you should be cleaning, because the plaque biofilm that develops in your teeth is this pretty similar color to your teeth unless it gets stained a different color. So sometimes it can look, if it's been there a while, it can get, it picks up stain from strong food stuff. So sometimes you will find that you know, if you've just had a curry, you'll get some sort of browny color staining in your teeth. Some people with a really thick biofilm, it will look very yellow at some margins. Sometimes if you have had other things that can stain and pick up the protein parts of the plaque biofilm. Now, the plaque biofilm develops in your teeth as soon as you've cleaned your teeth, and over a period of time, it gets thick enough to actually start to do damage. And it is really, really pivotal in both major dental diseases of tooth decay and gum disease. Okay, so tooth decay, to get tooth decay, you need the bacteria in the plaque biofilm, and you need sugar, and the together, then actually the bacteria live in the sugar and they basically poop acid, and that acid then burns a hole in your tooth. And the longer that acid stays in your mouth around your teeth, the more likely you're going to end up with a cavity. So what's next Thursday? It is Halloween and we have trick-or-treating, and it's become really popular in the UK. Although where we are in the middle of nowhere, so I always think anybody actually found us to trick-or-treat, they really deserve proper treat as opposed to a sugar-free treat, which is what I'm doing. So although we do keep toothbrushes and toothpaste actually for that very reason. So anyway, the plaque biofilm, really important for tooth decay, also important for gum disease. And what happens is the plaque biofilm develops around where the gum and the tooth meet, that little crevice, bit like underneath your fingernail, and what happens is that gets thicker and the bacteria start to irritate the gums, causing them to swell and bleed easily. Okay, and if you don't clean it off, you're going to end up with gum inflammation, gingivitis, and if you leave it there, all the other perfect factors in the perfect storm come together, you can end up with actually losing bony support and losing your teeth eventually. So what is it about these disclosing agents? So some of you will remember this sort of disclosing agent from school, this little disclosing tablets. This used to be a very popular science experiment when you were at school, and you chewed one of these up And all they are is erythrocin. Erythrocin's a food dye, so using food colouring does the same thing. You chew it all up and you spread it around, and then you looked at each other and you went, "Arr!" And your teeth were a pretty horrible colour. We've got slightly more sophisticated as the years have gone on, and I've just dropped the other one, so bear with me while I just duck down here. And we now have two-tone disclosing tablets, okay? And what happens is the older plaque is one colour, the older plaque is dark blue, and the newer plaque, so it's maybe 24, 48 hours old, it comes up pink, okay? So we now have two-tone disclosing tablets. And we also have liquids, so this is my all-time favourite. We have toothpastes, which are really, really popular, and I made a little video which I'm going to stick on YouTube using this, because this is really good because it's actually a green toothpaste, which looks pretty gross, and then what you use is a little fluorescent light. Now, I spent a long time earlier on trying to find a thing called a plaque light, which was the very first plaque disclosing I used many years ago with fluorescein, which fluorescein was used by opticians to fluoresce things in the eyes, and basically it was transferred into the mouth and you had this lovely little box. And I have it somewhere in here, but I cannot find it for the life of me. But anyway, because plaque biofilm is just so hard to see, what happens is you try and you disclose it to make it easier for actually you to spot. And it stains the protein part of it. The big problem for a lot of people when they use disclosing agents is that they're not only did their teeth go pinky orangey. Let me see, just like these, I'll show you a couple of pictures. So what you found was plaque disclosing dyes made the teeth go pink and blue, and you can see it there. But the other big problem with the older ones was that you also ended up with a bright blue or pink tongue, and your lips ended up blue pink as well. So it wasn't just the teeth that got disclosed, it was all the protein parts in your mouth. And because of that, people really weren't fans. I mean, and it was a messy thing. And I mean, you can get it out of clothes, just lots of cold water if it does splash. But do you know, as far as actually being able to see a plaque, the plaque on your teeth, and actually helping improve your oral hygiene technique, they really are second to none. So here is one that you can see that actually has the two-tone. So the older stuff that is around these teeth are blue. The newer stuff that's only been there about a day is pink. And if you look, you can see the majority of that is around where the gum and the tooth meet. And where else? In between your teeth. So those are the places that we all are always saying when you're brushing your teeth, make sure your toothbrush bristles get right round the gum margins there. Make sure you get right round where the gum and the tooth meet, and clean in between your teeth as well. Now, I haven't quite decided yet, but I actually just disclosed my teeth while I was live this evening, which has probably taken my life in my hands, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so anyway, what is it? It's a material that actually stains those protein parts of the plaque biofilm that develops in your teeth, and it helps you clean your teeth thoroughly and not miss anywhere. Now, as well as having a disclosing tablet or disclosing solution, whatever your disclosing potion is going to be, really, really useful to also have a little mouth mirror, okay? This allows you to see in behind your teeth, okay? And what you'll be able to do then is see where you've missed. Now, I often say to people, brush your teeth as you normally would, then use your disclosing tablet or your disclosing solution and actually see where you've missed. Now, what I'm going to do with these, now, I showed you when we started off the discoloration that is on my aligners, which are really pretty gross at the minute. So what I'm going to do is I made up a solution of my weekly, because as I say, I haven't cleaned these all day and I really am quite ashamed of them. Just as well, not too many people were close to me today. So what I did was I made up a solution of my usual, this is actually my weekly cleaner. Oh, thanks, Sheena. Yeah, the little mouth mirrors are really, really useful. So I made up the solution and I'm going to put my delicately pink tinted aligners in here. And we're going to leave them in here and see how they go. I don't know whether actually, I don't know to the point. You might actually can see actually the pink on those actually better now, but I'm now drowning the laptop, which is not a good idea. So I'm going to leave them in there and see how we go. So plaque disclosing solutions have actually been around in various forms for many, many years. First ones actually were used for iodine, believe it or not. Then what we developed onto things like brilliant green, gentian violet. So if any of you have animals and you ever put gentian violet on a wound, you will know how bright purple that is and how incredibly difficult it is to get off anything and everything. So as time went on, various organic solutions and dyes were developed, and really the thing that I was brought up on, the disclosing solution, the disclosing dye that I was brought up on was very much erythricin, and these little red tablets were, which as I say used to be a favorite one in school. You chewed them up, you swish them around your mouth, and actually you spit out, and you could see where you'd missed with your toothbrush. Now these are very person use sensitive, because not everybody chews them up properly, not everybody swishes them around their mouth properly, so you don't always get a clear idea of how well you've used them and how effective your toothbrushing has been. Always chew one up, mix it well with your saliva, spread it all around with your tongue, and then you want to have a rinse out with your mouth. Now before you use any of these, whether it be these ones, these are the TP, the plaque search ones, these little plaque search ones, which are pretty much our favorite with plaque glow. And again, you get two tones with this, so you get the older plaque is blue and the newer plaque is pink. Now always put a little bit of Vaseline on your lips. So let's see. I have been prepared. I've got a little bit of disclosing gel here, and I have got my toothbrushes. And first of all, I'm going to put some Vaseline on my lips. Now, the reason why I went for disclosing this week to get us started was because I think it makes a really good Halloween joke. So I'm going to put some on my lips in the hope that I do not end up with everything absolutely bright blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little cotton bud, and I'm going to try and see if I can do half mouth, okay, which may or may not work, but I'm going to use the green toothpaste, which is the fluorescein dye in it, which I use the little light to see. Okay, so I use the little light then to actually show where I've missed. Okay, and I'm going to try and use the other half of my mouth with the disclosing gel. So we're going to see how this goes, so bear with me. And really it's the use of these gels and these toothpastes that have really revolutionized disclosing agents and disclosing solutions, because you can put them exactly where you want them. You may, if you've been to the dentist and hygienist, certainly in the last year, 18 months, come across a technique called guided biofilm therapy. Now, guided biofilm therapy is actually guiding you to clean your biofilm and then the professional removal. And one of the first things they will do is disclose your teeth so that you can see where you're missing with your toothbrush and your interdental cleaning aids, and then that helps them actually remove the plaque biofilm really effectively with airflow technology, which is powder and water under pressure. And if you have not ever had airflow, please speak to your dental team about it, because there is nothing as gentle but most effective at actually removing a plaque biofilm as the airflow technology. So lots of things within dentistry evolved and new things are coming on board all the time, but these are particularly good. So let's see if this is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this green toothpaste on my little cotton bud. Now this is just the plaque glow, and this is the mint for the adult one. Kids one is actually a tutti frutti flavor. It also has 1,000 parts per million fluoride in it, which is good, but ideally these are really only meant to be used on a weekly basis or a couple of times a week when you need to check how your toothbrushing is going. So let's see if I can do this half mouth. So give us a minute. Outside, inside, up. I better stick to this side of my mouth. Now, what I'm going to try and do, usually you put the brush, it's just because I'm trying to be very careful and put this to one side of my mouth. I've got it everywhere if the truth's told. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick rinse, and then I'm going to use the other solution. We're going to have a wee look and see. So where did I put my water? I think I'm organised like Val Singleton used to be at Blue Peter. It doesn't always work with me. You really didn't need to see that bit. So you can see I've got some delicately green, if I can let the light off this, because sometimes I don't want to be, can't actually show you the water has gone actually very green. So where's my little torch? So what I'm going to try and do is then show you, you might have to take my word for this. You can see the green around my gum margins there anyway. But the idea with this is that the light source actually guesses the actual disclosing toothpaste, so it shows where the disclosing solution has attached to the plaque biofilm, and actually then this light actually shows it. So if I'm standing back here, yes, you can see a bit of green stuff, but it's not bad, and it'll fade very easily. And what you do notice is my tongue's not badly coated, and the rest of the inside of my cheeks isn't coloured. Now wait till you see what happens when I use a disclosing gel. So this is where we could get rather messy here. So I like to put this on with a little brush, and I would do this when we go out to do home visits and we talk to clients, and we actually help them actually improve their toothbrushing technique. So let's see what happens. I have to do this. Oh, is it? Instantly you can see actually how much messier it is, but doesn't it make a really good Halloween scare? So what I'm saying is, why don't you disclose the kids before they go trick-or-treating next week, and then they can really make a good job of it. So what I'm doing is I'm spreading all around with my tongue, and again I'm going to have a rinse here, but as you can see, nearly had water everywhere there. You can hopefully see, if I get right up close, you can see that my teeth have gone a delicate shade of blue and pink, and really are not very pretty. But can you also see how much more is attached to my lip compared to where I used the fluorescein? So you can see the big benefit of using the toothpaste over the disclosing solution or disclosing tablet. Now I do need to have a rinse wherever I put my water, so again, you really don't need to see this bit. And now you can actually see where I've missed. So I haven't brushed my teeth, as I say, from this morning. Ideally, if you're going to do this as an experiment with the kids, let them have like 24 hours off brushing their teeth to really make it worth your while, if you're really going for a bit of a freak show. But it does give a really good idea. And look at the tongue. It does let you see where that plaque biofilm is actually working. So how it actually works is disclosing solutions and tablets work by changing the color of the dental biofilm. So instead of being that cream on cream or white on white, so white biofilm on white tooth surface, you have this complete contrast on the tooth surface, which allows you to actually see where you've missed. Now, what it is the plaque biofilms have the capacity to actually retain the in their surface, and that's what changes them. What you can do though is when you rinse your mouth out after using a disclosing solution or tablet, is those areas that are plaque free, the solution or the tablet, the color will actually rinse off. So you can see the bits of my teeth that are plaque free, and I'm just trying to get this light right to let you see a bit better. This is where sometimes I wish I used my phone, because the phone gives me actually a much better image of top dolls. But we will persevere. We will keep going. So anyway, now I can see theoretically where I have been missing. What the idea is then is I actually am going to actually get it off. Now, really important with any use of any product is do it in the right order. Okay, so clean in between first, then brush your teeth. So either if it suits you after tea time or dinner time or after lunch, some point in the day, clean in. Ideally, just before you brush your teeth, but sometimes, you know, that's just a big ask. So you want to try and do it before you brush. So the last thing you do before you go to sleep at night is brush your teeth. You spit your toothpaste out. You don't rinse all the toothpaste away. You let a little bit of the toothpaste stay around your teeth, because then the active ingredients in your toothpaste are going to work for you while you sleep, which has got to be a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a little incidental brush, okay? Now I'm wondering if I actually these retractors in. So these are my retractors from my scan box, which any of you have been watching my orthodontic journey will know, as I take a scan of my teeth every week, that goes off to my pro, my orthodontist, who actually has a look and tells me, yes, wear those aligners for another week, or no, you're ready to move on, without me physically having to be in the dental chair. So works very well. A couple of videos that I have to put up on the online. I haven't got around to it yet, but let's see. This just holds my cheeks back and makes it a bit easy to see. So you can see how much or how teeth you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean in between, and I've got quite a bit here. Can't actually see where I'm going here. It's a slightly worrying because I don't actually, hold on a second, I think I'm going to have to go somewhere. With those in, I can't actually pull my part off. Oh. And my hand's in the way, so let me find something that's actually going to let me get in here where you can actually see. That's maybe better. So keeping it low down. In between. And what you can do is you get all that off first of all, okay? So once you've got that off, and size does really matter there, and I just lifted one that actually was slightly too big. I couldn't see what I'm doing now. No matter what you're using, always use these first. So this is just different. This is TP Easy Pick. Now some people prefer these. Ideally, the little interdental brushes are best, but these are always another thing that you can actually use. And again, always use it low down, underneath where the two teeth are in contact. If you go up here where the two teeth are in contact, that's going to bend and break, and you're going to get really frustrated really quickly. I tend to always start from the middle and work my way back, because that way I can actually where I'm going. And sometimes just swinging your jaw over one way or the other allows you to get to the back much easier. So these are quite flexible, and it allows I can get right to the very back, okay? Other thing that you may be using are floss. So in my case, my go-to floss is always gum chucks. So again, and you can see how, again, this light is just, it's nice to have the bright light, because otherwise we get lots of shadows when I'm doing this, but sometimes it makes it really difficult. I wonder if I actually had something white, if that actually shows up. Yeah, you can see a bit better there, just how much of that plaque biofilm has been removed at the back there. So with floss, you always have to get it tight enough to scrape the tooth surfaces. So then what you want to do is take your toothbrush. So I'm going to use a manual toothbrush. So what you do is you place your toothbrush up round where you're gumming your tooth meet, and little small circular motions. And when you put your toothbrush in towards the back, close your mouth a wee bit. That way you actually get a lot more room here to maneuver. So when you put your toothbrush in, close your mouth around it, and you can get right to the very back. keep the bristles just in where the gum and the tooth meet, and you should be able to feel it, particularly if the toothbrush dry. No need to wet your toothbrush, no need to stick it underneath the tap. Your mouth is warm and wet to begin with. But again, you start to see just how much of that plaque biofilm has been disrupted there. Now, when you get to the corner here, don't forget to start where you left off. So sometimes it's easier to do it this way. Sometimes I do it that way. Now, what you want to do is get right to the very back and then come back on the inside. And work all the way around in behind these upper front teeth. It's much, much easier to clean using your toothbrush the long, narrow way. And again, feel when the tooth is clean. Now, I can already feel, I've done my right hand side. I can run my tongue around the teeth and feel the clean difference, the clean feel between that and the other side of my mouth, which I haven't brushed yet. But having the disclosing solution really, really helps. You do need to be able to see what you're doing. So if you've not got a mirror in front of you, it does make it really challenging. I'm struggling a wee bit because I actually have really bright lights here. Otherwise, the camera doesn't work just as well from a point of view of picking a live feed up. But certainly, it does help that if you can see. Now, manual toothbrush, I have got to wiggle the bristles. Electric toothbrush, the power is in the bristles, okay? All I have got to do is set the toothbrush down round where the gum and the tooth meet, and I can feel it there, a bit like feeling the toothbrush bristles just underneath your fingernails if you're cleaning there. Just feel it down in there, then put the power on. And all I have to do is stand here and let the power do the work for me. I don't have to do anything, just direct the bristles where they need to go. And that's the greatest thing about powered toothbrushes, that they do the work. You don't need to move them back and forth. You just set it in place and let it do the work for you. Round the outside, and don't forget when you get to the corner and you're turning the toothbrush over, and did you notice the beep just as that was telling me that I needed to go on to the next quadrant? Make sure you start where you leave off. Don't turn it on until it's inside your mouth either, because you're going to end up with an awful lot of mess everywhere. And if you're the pro soul that cleans the bathroom mirror, you'll know exactly what I mean. All I'm doing is moving that tooth by tooth and making sure the bristles are pointing down round where the gum and the tooth meet. So that's the outside. Inside. Now, inside is the right hand side. I'm right-handed and I'm very right-handed, so it's really quite difficult for me. So what I need to do is bring my arm up and round to get that place. If I try cleaning from the inside here, I often will miss because your toothbrush bristles don't go down. So if you can imagine that has to get parallel to my lower jaw on the inside. And also don't forget to do right behind the very last tooth. In behind the front ones, long, narrow way, much easier. The length of the bristles then will get right down round where the gum and the tooth make. And if you've got any sort of recession, particularly in behind those lower front teeth, that can be a really easy place to miss, and yet it's the place that both plaque biofilm and tartar will build up really easily. All the way around the outside, all the way around the inside, then the bits you bite on, okay? Those are the easy bits. But again, with an electric toothbrush, you the power do the work. You cannot move those bristles as fast as an electric toothbrush does. Those bristles move somewhere between 7,500 and up to 9, even more thousand times a minute. You can't wiggle bristles that fast, so you've just got to sit and let it do the work. I often say that brushing your teeth with an electric toothbrush is really boring, but really effective. Now, I haven't done along the top and the inside. Doing along the top and the inside sometimes can get really tickling. But rather than put you through watching me do that, because I'm going to go back and do all this properly now. But can you see the colour of my toothbrush head now? Can you see the colour of the bristles are now a delicate shade of pink, which is the downside of using a disclosing solution. But my teeth are definitely a lot better off. You can see down here where I still got some fluorescing. Which is the benefit of using a disclosing tablet, because you can actually see where you've missed. Now, somewhere else that plaque biofilm gathers up that we often forget about and is really important for anybody that worries about freshness is their tongue. Plaque biofilm gathers on the hard surfaces with your teeth. It will gather on dentures. It will gather up on orthodontic appliances. And I've got a brilliant photograph of disclosed orthodontic appliances. Let me show you this. Oh, where is it? You always think yourself. I always think I have myself organized, and sometimes I don't. But this is actually taken from a friend and colleague of mine, Dr. Neha Dixon, who actually is works with AMS, who produces airflow technology and are the instigators of guided biofilm therapy. But you can see how much plaque biofilm gathers around all these appliances and braces. And what often happens is when these brackets and things are removed after orthodontics, there's little white spots around these. Now, the problem with that is that they become decalcified, so they can be demineralized and leave these little white spots. And this is why it is so important to take time and brush thoroughly if you're wearing an orthodontic appliance and braces. And it's something that is often missed. I often come across people who say, oh, I had braces and then I had a whole lot of cavities afterwards. It was the orthodontics, it was the braces that made my teeth bad. It's not the braces that make the teeth bad. The braces make it much more difficult for you to keep your teeth clean. All that means is you've got to work that bit harder. And often most people, with having braces, they're having it in their teens, and sometimes cleanliness is not always high on the priority list. So cleaning around this sort of thing is actually really challenging and really time consuming. And that's where using a disclosing agent, whether it be toothpaste, or I'm throwing everything around me now here, whether it be the disclosing toothpaste or disclosing tablet, really makes a difference. The other thing that I mentioned there was cleaning the other soft tissues in your mouth. So if you wear a partial denture or a full denture, what you want to do is clean the soft tissues underneath that. So when you take the denture out, clean the denture, and then also clean the roof of your mouth or the bits that your denture is sitting on. And the other thing to remember, say you have a tooth there and there, and you have a denture that fits in between and fills the space, don't forget the teeth at the sides of those teeth where the denture sits against, because those are often forgotten about. And again, disclosing agents really help there. Now, the other bit is your tongue. Now, you can see in one half of my tongue, and my tongue is not badly discolored, and you can see where I used the tri-plaque gel, and I got still quite a purple tongue. But bacteria, the plaque biofilm bacteria gather in your tongue the same way it does in your teeth and your dentures and your aligners and whatever else is in your mouth. But what happens is they can get caught up in the little papilla on the surface of your tongue, and they can break down and they form what we call volatile sulfur compounds. Now, that is what can give you a really bad taste and bad breath. So making sure your tongue is clean is really important. Now, the best way to do it, the most effective way of doing it, is with a tongue scraper. Okay, now tongue scraper is what yes, I did. This is the TP's tongue scraper. Now, if you look, you can see there's little ridges. You see the little ridges, so those are the little bits that you want to use against your tongue. Now use the tongue scraper from the back forwards, okay? So you're using it from the back forward. Now, if you've never used one before, I always suggest start at the tip of your tongue and work from the back forward. So what you're doing, and you can see again, if I put this up again, can you see it's really, really hard, but you can start to see the purple there coming off my tongue onto that. It's just easier to see if you've got a black background in that, but you can see where that plaque biofilm's coming off on the tongue scraper. So use it from the back forward. You can, or you can see it even better on that. This lighting's going to drive me around a twist, but you take that out of the way. But you can maybe see that. You can see the fluorescein certainly. Oh, this is going to brilliant. Oh, that's better now. You can see where I've actually wiped that off there. So use the ridge size. And you use that from the back forward. Now, again, can you see how that's coming off my tongue? Let me get a clean tissue and just see if I can get you to see that a bit better. You can see it there. Let me see if I can wipe it. You can actually see how that plaque is being removed. You can see it better on the tissue there when I actually wipe that. So cleaning your tongue is hugely important for fresh breath. You can do it with a toothbrush. A toothbrush is a bit more bulky, but again, always use it from the back to the front. So if I wanted to use an electric brush, I take it from the back. And just overlap with it. You can use a manual toothbrush, but in all honesty, the most effective thing to clean your tongue is a tongue scraper. Order that you do it is clean your tongue, do your interdental cleaning, do your toothbrushing. First of all, I often suggest brushing teeth first of all with a completely dry toothbrush. Don't put anything on it. That way you get to feel those bristles are right in that little crevice where the gum and the tooth meet. Because I can actually feel that, which is what you feel, particularly in the inside of your mouth, where it's really, really difficult to see. And I don't know what I've done. Oh, I've dropped my mirror, so bear with me. I'm going to have to duck. I'm having a great time with throwing things around me tonight. But if you've got a little mirror, you can actually check and see where you've cleaned and where you've missed, and then go back. And if crowns or veneers, the plaque biofilm is going to gather up in that. On implant, it's definitely going to gather up around an implant. And the really, really important thing about dental implants is you've made a big investment if you have a dental implant, both in time and effort and money. You want to look after it, and you need to go to 110% about your plaque biofilm control. It needs extra TLC because it doesn't have the same natural protective mechanisms that an ordinary tooth has. So first of all, clean your teeth, then clean in between your teeth. Clean your teeth with a totally dry toothbrush, whether it be manual or electric, okay? Then put your pea-sized blob of toothpaste on and go back and clean your teeth. It's a good fluoride toothpaste. Adults, at least 1350 parts per million. You'll see it in the back of tiny, tiny writing, and that's where you need your magnifying glass. Tiny, tiny writing of how much fluoride is in your toothpaste. Then actually spit out, but don't rinse out afterwards. So I don't know whether this academic cleaner. I think it was better. You saw more when I put my retractors on. So let's see if I have actually done a reasonably good job. So let me have a swallow. So there you go. You can start off next week, Halloween fun, disclose your teeth, go out, scare the living daylights out of everybody, or whatever one does on Halloween, and then come home and have a real your treats, and then brush your teeth really, really well. Spit your toothpaste out, don't rinse out afterwards. Let the toothpaste work for you overnight, particularly if the kids have been doing a lot of the old trick-or-treating. And you know one of our most popular toothpaste for kids would be the OHP, the 1450, which is what the health authorities will use in the schools programs. 1450 is high fluoride toothpaste, so it's got lots of power to make your teeth super strong. And plenty of other brands. All you need to do is making sure that you're looking after your teeth properly. I am going to be here for about the next 20 minutes or so. I am here. If anybody's got a question for me, please, by all means, send them to me and I will have a chat. But I have a blog up on the website about Halloween trick-or-treating and give you some alternative ideas for trick-or-treats. I have a colleague who always has little mini toothpaste and toothbrushes at her door for kids coming for trick-or-treating. We're the same here. Our big challenge is we pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So anybody that finds us really deserves something. But have a think about what alternatives you can have. Little cubes of cheese. I've put some photographs up on the blog, on the website. So go to the blog. I think we posted it on social media as well, that you can see the little mandarin oranges, little cheese string ghosts that we did. So it just needs a little bit of creative imagination. So you can do it with a banana, turn a banana, cut a banana in half, put 2 raisins in for eyes, or something else. I mean, I think I used black peppercorns at one time, or what were the other things you put in Christmas cake, all sorts of things. Just use your imagination. But you know, there's ways and means of having great fun at Halloween and actually not ruining your teeth. What I would say is, when you come back, if you are going trick-or-treating, and I know a lot of people are doing this sort of thing over the weekend rather than actually on Thursday evening, but if you're going out, when you come back, put all the treats in a and make that the treat box. Then let the kids have something out of it after their tea, rather than eating loads of it. Make it as a treat. Or if you know, what we used to do is we had Fridays were treat days, and the kids pretty much would eat what they liked, and I didn't really bat an eyelid. So it was one day a week that was their day to go a bit mad. Also, not only had hyperactive kids one day in which certainly made life slightly easier for us. But you know, we have a real problem with kids and weight these days, and it's a common risk factor: tooth decay and childhood obesity, type 2 diabetes. These are putting huge amounts of stress. Kids that are overweight are putting a huge amount of stress and strain on developing vital organs. So their heart, their lungs, they're all having to work that little bit harder when they're not fully developed. So try and work at cutting down your sugars in your diet for all of you. It's good for all of us. It's not just good for kids. Try water between meals. It is a big challenge to get kids off juices and fizzy drinks, but if you do it gradually, you know, it is doable. It just takes a bit of effort, and not only will you have a healthier child, you'll have a lovely smile for life. So there you go, little bit about Disclosing. I am going to go and see how my retainers have fared. So let me just mop these off a bit, and you can see this actually has worked pretty well. So again, something white behind that, so you can see that is in the cleaner that has been in for 45 minutes just now. It does say on the bottle to leave it for a few hours, but considering I did nothing else, only leave it, that has actually removed a fair bit of the plaque biofilm from those aligners. They are going to go and get a brush because just actually soaking them isn't enough, whether a mouse guard, that is just not enough. You do have to do a little bit more. So I am going to go and take this to the bathroom and give those a jolly good clean, finish cleaning my teeth, get some toothpaste on, some tooth mousse on, and then put them back in again. So there you go. I will be around for a while. I hope you had fun. I've certainly made quite a mess up here this evening, and if not beforehand, I will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for joining me. Bye.